Hello YouTube, here in front of you is a really classic smartphone. It is the iPhone 3GS from 2009. This is a white 16GB model. That's not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is how usable is an iPhone 3GS in 2014. What I'm going to do in this video is show you the phone itself and then talk about things you can and can't really do or should watch out for when you're going to use your 3GS today. So, this is my 3GS that I got with iOS 6. Unfortunately, it's about a year old now. At least I have it. I've had it for a year. Just your regular 3GS, two speakers on the bottom, 30-pin dock connector, and your power buttons and mute button. What do you want to call it? 3.5mm jack, SIM card tray, and the lock button, and a home button on the front. That's it. And of course the 3.5-inch touchscreen, which I do like, even though it's only 320 by 480 pixels. It's a very low resolution, but it works. There we go. It's running iOS 6.1.1, or let me rephrase that. It's iOS 6.1.6. I wish it was still on 6.1.1 or just or 6.1.2. So I could jailbreak it better. So let me just look up the version number here. Yep, it's 6.1.6, 10B500. Things that I did to actually speed the thing up was mostly disable Spotlight. But by default, everything here is checkmarked. As you can see, there we go. I disabled everything and it made the phone a bit zippier. I mean, you gotta reboot for that to take effect though, but it did help a lot. So I do have a lot of junk on here, but it's relatively quick. It only has Wi-Fi G, so it's only 54 megabit, but that's not really a problem since it only has 600 megahertz processor, so it couldn't even keep up with the fast internet from today. So enough negativity here. There are a lot of things that you can still do on this old smartphone. It's almost 5 years old now, but it's still very usable today. Things you may want to watch out for is actually running iOS 6 in the first place. If you have a choice, or if you are still running iOS 3, 4, or 5, never go farther than 5.1.1. That's the best operating system for this phone. It doesn't support all the modern apps, maybe, but it still supports most of them. Most apps are still written for iOS 5, so that should work just fine. iOS 6 is pretty slow in here. It's definitely not as zippy as iOS 4 or 5. But I got it with 6, so I have to live with it. So things you can do on here is just browse the web for a bit. Just light web browsing, so no real heavy pages. No, I don't want that page to load. Let's see, let's go to Google for instance. My Wi-Fi is not that quick either, so at least not on this phone. There we go. As soon as it keeps up, you can actually type a bit quicker. Let's just search for an iPhone 3GS. Wikipedia here. Let's see how that loads up. We get the mobile version of Wikipedia. We get all the goodies from the iPhone 3GS. As you can see, it scrolls just fluidly. It's pretty good. So on mobile websites, you can actually browse just fine and read all the text. Text is not as crisp as you might expect because it's only a 320 by 480 pixel screen. It was released June 8th, 2009, as you can see there. It's the Dutch Wikipedia because I'm Dutch. If you haven't already figured that out. So, let's see. That pretty much sums up web browsing. Works just fine. You just have to be patient for a little bit. And it depends on your connection speed too. Other things you can do in here is check your mail. I've got Hotmail open here. I can just browse through my mail. For instance, just go to open this mail up. It's very readable, text is very good, scrolls fluently. This is probably one that's riddled with ads. Actually it is, it has images. Still, fluently scrolling through it. Really good. So checking your mail works just fine on your iPhone 3GS. Browsing the web works just fine on your 3GS. Of course you can also listen to music that you've actually put on the phone. I don't have any, but it works just fine. Just trust me on that. Other things you can do is, of course, you make your phone calls. That just works fine. Doesn't require any resources really. And you can do texting and iMessage. You can open WhatsApp. It takes a bit to load up usually. As soon as it's loaded, it gets buffered and you can open it relatively quickly. See, there you go. It's already buffered. Now if we close it, open it back up, it's right there. Facebook is not a really good idea on a 3GS. It takes a hell of a long time to load up. I'll show it right here. See, it really took a long time for that to come up, and now it's still thinking about it. It's still thinking. In my opinion, this is pretty unusable. I don't want to really wait like 5 minutes before I can actually, frickin' check my Facebook. Other things you can do in here is just, download your apps, update your iTunes library, watch videos. You can even make your own videos using the camera, but it's only VGA quality, so it's pretty bad by today's standards. Back in the day, a VGA camera on a smartphone was actually pretty good. The regular built-in camera, that's here on the back side, as you can see is right there, is only 3 megapixels, so it doesn't take all that great pictures. At least not if you go to zoom in or anything. As it only has 256 megabytes of RAM, it slows down relatively quickly if you have a lot of apps open. So I'll just close a few. I'll close Facebook, close WhatsApp, music, all that good stuff. Let's go through everything that I have open here. There we go. Feels a little bit quicker now. Of course, you can also watch YouTube videos. Once again, you've got some load times here to watch out for. They are inevitable, so you can't really watch out for them. But if you have the choice, like I said before, if you can stay on an older OS, by all means stay on the older OS. Because it is a bit quicker. The load times are shorter. For instance, let's just watch a video, just for show. Let's wait for it to buffer.
Hotspot Shield service makes your internet browsing safer, more secure, and fully private. Click now to learn.
Okay, there we go.
So our main video editor is actually getting a new edit.
There we go. Can't show too much of it, or else we're going to get copyright problems. You can also just do this, works just fluently. Okay, it didn't really register that properly. My thumbs are pretty big and the screen is pretty tiny, compared to it at least. Okay, so that pretty much concludes my video on what you can and can't do on iOS 6.16, or at least on the iPhone 3GS. So, just to sum things up for a bit, you can listen to your music, you can make phone calls, it's ideal for texting because the iOS keyboard is, in my opinion, much better than the Android keyboards. You can use it to browse the web for light websites or mobile websites. You can update your iTunes library, watch YouTube videos, check your news, check your email. That all just works fine on the 3GS, even by today's standards. The only thing you have to watch out for is that you have to be a little bit more patient because it is older hardware. It's only a single core 600 MHz with 256 megabytes of RAM. If you stick that on an Android phone, it's actually going to be a lot slower. Android phones with those specifications don't even run half as fast as this iPhone 3GS does. So keep that in mind, because Apple programs much more on the hardware than Android does, because it is available on a hell of a lot more devices. So that's to be expected. But still, this sums up my video on the iPhone 3GS and what you can still do with it in 2014. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I thank you all for watching.